Hello! I just wanted to sit here with you guys today and just basically talk about pre-med self-doubt and insecurity, because being insecure just really characterized a lot of my undergraduate experience. And I definitely spent many sad nights and many sad months and periods of my time this past 4 years just regretting all my choices and regretting that I was pre-med, feeling like I was never going to be enough. And it got to a point where just basically my pre-med life was me. Like, it may be inevitable to be sad and to feel like you're worthless when comparing yourself to others, but this shouldn't be normalized. It shouldn't be a sad pre-med life should not be normalized. And I wish it wasn't so normal for pre-meds to be like so sad and like struggling all the time. Like, that shouldn't be normal. I feel like upon reflection, I was the only person discouraging myself from pursuing medicine. And that's not how I want you guys to feel, because just because you have that one B, just because you have that one C, or even like me, just because you have that one D, doesn't mean that you're not going to become a doctor. Like, if this is really what you want, then I believe that you will get there. It might not be like the traditional way of immediately going to med school after college, but if this is really what you want, then I really believe that you will be able to get there. In one of my videos, I talk about my low stats, my low GPA, my low MCAT. Granted, my GPA wasn't low, like when compared to like regular people, but all the people around me were just scoring so much higher than I was. I couldn't help but compare myself to everyone else. Like, I think that's a normal human thing, but I really feel like I was one of the main barriers to me being confident in myself and being confident that I will become a doctor one day. Like, I really think it was my own self and my own mentality holding me back. So my entire pre-med undergraduate experience, I always felt like I wasn't enough. Like, just even my first exam in college, I was studying with one of my roommates, and we had a lot of same classes, and so I was studying with her, and I didn't really know how to study at that time, so I just kind of followed her suit. Fast forward, my first exam, which was a chemistry exam, and I never took chemistry in high school. I never learned it because just of reasons. My first score in college was like a 30%. The class average was around like an 80%. And I think my friend who was also taking the class who I was studying with, she got like an 80 or 90%. I remember being very high and above the average. And I feel like that just characterizes like my entire college undergraduate experience. It's always me failing and then trying to make up for that grade. So because I got that 30%, even though I did well in the next exam, in my third midterm, and then my final, I think I still ended that class with like a 70% just because of that one grade that really held me back. And even though I tried so hard, and actually, I think I remember I even got a 90% on one of my midterms. I was so proud of myself. But even with that, like, my grade was not reflective of how hard I actually worked. And that just set the tone for the rest of my college experience, unfortunately. Even in other classes, I would sometimes be in like the bottom 10% or 20% of the class for an exam, while my friend who I studied with, my friends who I did homework with, were scoring at like an average or above average. And so when comparing myself to others, I just never felt like what I was doing was enough. Like, to them, they got a B because they had to put more energy into a harder class. But for me, I put all my energy into that one class and I got a B, and I was so proud of that B. Except when other people talk about it, it just made my B feel worthless because they were like demeaning it. They were saying it's so bad and like how they're so worried because they're not going into med school because of that one B. While like the rest of their grades could be like an A or like a low A, high B, and there's me where like almost all of my pre-med classes, like my pre-med science classes, were like a B average, and I worked so hard for those grades. And for those like reasons, never felt like enough in college. And it was really hard for me to talk to anyone about it because I just felt like they wouldn't understand. Like, they were complaining about getting a B, and I was here not realizing I was gonna fail a class with a D. Like, I knew, but I didn't register, and I was like, a C would be fine. I was trying to put my grade up to C, but I failed the final. So I got a D in the class. And it's just like moments like that where like I just question, like, am I smart enough to get into medicine? I really thought that like I should pursue medicine because like I just want to be a good doctor. Like, I wouldn't be able to know the answers to what these people are asking, and that really scared me. And I don't want to be a bad doctor, and so I was really discouraged from medicine, like on and off throughout my undergraduate experience. Even going to my pre-professional advising office, and like they also discouraged me from pursuing medicine because like my stats weren't high enough. I wouldn't make it just because I was struggling so hard, and it was always just about how my grades weren't there, even though I was trying my hardest. And then they're like, maybe this isn't for you. They told me to try something else, to pursue something different, to maybe do something with art because my stats just weren't gonna cut it. I wasn't gonna make it, especially not without a GPA booster like a master's or a post-bac program. However, I did not want to pursue additional education, just mostly because of financial reasons, just because of personal reasons. If I didn't get into med school this cycle, then I definitely would have gone ahead and did a post-bac or something because I know my GPA is one of the red spots in my application. But I also didn't want to show people that I was doing bad, and so on the outside I was like, yeah, I'm doing good, I'm okay. I'm still going to continue doing the medicine thing because I'm okay, I'm not going to quit just because of my grades. But they didn't know that, and I didn't want to show that, and then it just caused a lot of sadness and a lot of stress, unnecessary stress throughout my undergraduate experience, and I really don't wish that upon anyone. I truly believe that if medicine is what you want to do, then you're going to get there. It doesn't matter if it's going to be 2 years after you graduate or 4 years after you graduate, it doesn't matter. But if it's truly what you want, I do think that if you really want it, you're going to get it. And I wish I had that type of self-confidence, self-belief in myself, because that is something that I always thought of, like in general, for like many things in life, except not for this whole pre-med thing. And if it wasn't for some family pressure and pressure from the ones I love, then I honestly would not have applied to cycle, and I wouldn't have realized that I'm capable of doing this. Like, I got into med school, like that's still so insane to think about. Like, if I think about it too hard, like I might just start crying because like it's something I worked so hard for, but so many times I told myself I couldn't do it. So many times someone ahead of me told me that I should probably be doing X, Y, Z instead to help my application instead of just being who I am and not wanting to do certain things. Obviously, advice is good, and it's good to listen to others to see where they think that you are, and because sometimes you can't really see where your own standpoint is. Even with all that negativity in my life, I think it really taught me how to pick myself back up. Like, all those failures, all those like bad things that happen in my life, like it's really taught me how to just pick myself back up, tell myself that it's okay, it's just another little thing, just to look at the end goal and to just keep going. Because I definitely also know people who have never failed in college, and like they just don't really know how to accept like a little bit of failure. Like, something doesn't go their way and they can't handle it. Whereas I feel like so many things did not go my way in college. And so I guess my advice at the end of the day for all of you guys who are watching, who are dealing with self-doubt and insecurity, not feeling like you're enough in a pre-med sense, or in a general sense, is that honestly, no one's judging you, and that it's okay to fail, and it's okay to tell people that you failed, and it's okay to share bad things too, because ultimately it'll help yourself, and ultimately I think it'll help your confidence. And if you know what you want, go for it. Like, you're only stopping yourself. Just know what things you need to do in order to get there, but take everyone's advice with a grain of salt, because every story is unique and no one honestly really knows what admissions thinks when they're selecting applicants. Like, if you really think about it, I feel like it's really random. Like, for example, I got an interview even though my MCAT at the time was below 25 percentile for MSAR. I wasn't in state, etc., but I still got an interview and I got accepted into this one school. Like, you just never really know, so might as well try. Like, don't let negative thoughts hold you back. And so I hope my video today just reminded some of you guys that you guys are amazing and you are enough, and that you're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a good doctor in the future, no matter what someone else says or no matter what you may feel like when you compare yourself to others. You are going to make it. You're going to be fine. And I just want to leave you with those words, and if you ever need any help, then just feel free to reach out to someone, because honestly, other people are struggling too. Like, they may not show it, but they're also dealing with a lot of these same feelings that you might be going through. So you're never alone in this. Even if you guys don't have anyone to talk to, then just reach out to me. Like, I've been there. I hope you guys enjoyed this little ramble, this little chit chat on the couch. So thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.